Hello out there. So, I started intermittent fasting for the first time. I've never done it before, but I tried a lot of other things for weight loss, and I was recently told by a weight loss doctor that he didn't think that I could lose the weight I wanted to without surgery, and I would like to prove him wrong very much. So, I did. I started last night, but I didn't plan for it very well. I don't recommend this. I didn't plan for it very well. I forgot I was going to be doing this, so I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at like 1:30 in the morning, which like moved my 16-hour fasting window to this weird time of like 1:30 in the morning to 5:30 p.m. at night. When normally, if you're going to do a 16-hour fasting period, from what I understand, the idea is you're asleep for half of it, so it doesn't bother you as much, but I messed up. I didn't do that. So I have 10 more minutes before I can eat something. So I'm killing time. And it was not as difficult as I thought it would be. I thought I would be really, really cranky. I really did. I thought I would be super cranky and lightheaded and not able to focus. But actually my focus has been better, if you would believe it. That's kind of weird. I didn't expect that at all. I thought I would be like woozy or something. But I don't have diabetes, I don't have hypoglycemia or anything like that, and I am currently overweight enough that I have plenty of fat stores to work off of, so I guess this works for me. We'll see if it works weight loss wise. I'm going to shift the fasting window though. I would like to be asleep for more of it next time, if at all possible. But I didn't really start feeling actually hungry until about hour 11. And that's when my stomach actually started growling. But I have been drinking a ton of water today. This is like, how many ounces is this? I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of ounces. But this is my third one of these today. I did have black coffee this morning. I don't know if that's cheating, but I had black coffee. I wasn't going to have no coffee. That's ridiculous. So I am going to do a page 47 where I grab a book off my shelf and I read page 47 from it and I talk a little bit about it. So the book I grabbed this afternoon is The Whale Stow Letters by Mark Z. Danielewski, which is actually an excerpt from a larger book called House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, which, if you've ever heard of it, is a wild ride of a book. I highly recommend it, but maybe don't start it when you're distracted. It's a journey. It is a journey of a book. I would go so far as to say it is unlike any book I've ever read. It truly is. So let's see what page 47 has to say. You know what? I think I want to just get the whole book. Like, this is a selection. I'm going to get the whole House of Leaves book because I have that over here. I'd rather do that. There we go. This is the whole thing. House of Leaves. Not as old as that other book I had, but it's old enough that it has a history. Now, Mark Danielewski does something very interesting with his books. He doesn't just use text to write and communicate. He uses formatting and typeface and font to create a mood. So during parts of the book, you'll see everything is aligned how you would expect a book to be. And during other parts of the book, you will see things like this start to happen, where it doesn't really make sense and it's disorienting to you. You will see things like this start to happen. There's one part that really is my favorite. The way that he uses the type. And then, like, this paragraph. And what happens is when he chooses to put just a little bit of text on a page, it forces you to flip more quickly. And it forces you to do something physically as you're processing this information. And it adds a different level. It adds a different dimension. Like, you get here, there's like 1 or 2 words on each page. And you're just going. I love this book. I love it, love it, love it. But let's see what 47 has to say. And it doesn't really matter if it's out of context because the book is so wildly all over the place anyway. Page 47. For all its merits, Hollander's book only devotes 5 pages to the actual physics of sound. While this is not the place to dwell on the beautiful and complex properties of reflection, in order to even dimly comprehend the shape of the Navidson house, it is still critical to recognize how the laws of physics in tandem with Echo's mythic inheritance serve to enhance Echo's interpretive strength. The descriptive ability of the audible is easily designated with the following formula. Sound plus time equals acoustic light. As most people know who are versed in this century's technological effects, exact distances can be determined by timing the duration of a sound's round trip between the deflecting object and its point of origin. This principle serves as the basis for all the radar, sonar, and ultrasonics used every day around the world by air traffic controllers, fishermen, and obstetricians. By using sound or electromagnetic waves, visible blips may be produced on a screen, indicating either a 747, a school of salmon, or the barely pumping heart of a fetus. Of course, echolocation has never belonged exclusively to technology. Microptera, bats, cetacean, porpoises and toothed whales, Delphinus delphis, or dolphins, as well as certain mammals, flying foxes, and birds, oil birds, all use sound to create extremely accurate acoustic images. However, unlike their human counterparts, neither bats nor dolphins require an intermediary screen to interpret the echoes. They simply see the shape of the sound. Bats, for example, create frequency modulated FM images by producing constant frequency signals, 0.5 to 100 plus ms, and FM signals, 0.5 to 10 milliseconds in their larynx. The respondent echoes are then translated into nerve discharges in the auditory cortex, enabling the bat not only to determine an insect's velocity and direction through synaptic interpretation of Doppler shifts, but pinpoint its location to within a fraction of a millimeter. As Michael J. Buckingham noted in the mid-'80s, imaging performed by the human eye is neither active nor passive. The eye does not need to produce a signal to see, nor does an object have to produce a signal in order to be seen. An object merely needs to be illuminated. Based on these observations, the already mentioned formula reflects a more accurate understanding of vision with the following refinement. Sound plus time equals acoustic touch. As Gloucester murmured, I see it, feelingly. Unfortunately, humans lack the sophisticated neural hardware present in bats and whales. The blind must rely on the feeble light of fingertips and the painful shape of a cracked shin. Echolocation comes down to the crude assessment of simple sound modulations, whether in the dull reply of a tapping cane or the low, eerie flutter in one simple word. Perhaps your word, flung down empty hallways, long past midnight. So that's actually not even representative of what the entire book is like. That's just an excerpt. The whole premise of the book is that there is a house that measures larger on the inside than it does on the outside, and what a mystery this is. And it's also about this man, basically his descent into madness. And the Navidson record is kind of like a book within a book describing it. And it's been, God, when did I last read this? I first read this when I was in high school. So I think I was driving. So I had to be at least 16. Yeah, I think I was 16 years old. And I just got enveloped in this book. It's just so unusual. I have never read another book like this. It may be one of my favorite books of all time. There was a index card that fell out. I'm not sure why, but it was blank. If you do decide to read this book, a nice touch is if you get the musical album Haunted by Poe, P-O-E. Poe is actually the author's sister, and she wrote, sang, and performed an album full of work that kind of companioned nicely to the book in terms of setting the mood and getting you in a frame of mind for it. It's kind of a creepy book, and it's kind of a cerebral book, so if you like stuff like that, it's right up your alley. And it is 5:31, and I made it 16 hours without eating. Ah! And I don't feel as bad as I thought I would, but I'm not going to push it. I'm going to go get some food. See y'all later.